Now, if you have one Melco Summit, you don't necessarily need an independent manager to run it. The touchscreen will do everything you need. But if you have multiple Melco Summits, then you might need something to increase your efficiency. Introducing Melco Summit Manager. Now, Summit Manager software lets us view the status of all of these machines. We can control the artwork parameters, we can upload artwork, and we can queue artwork. Let me show you how Summit Manager works from one central hub. Alex, our application specialist, you may have seen some of his videos.
Today we'll be sewing a fluffy Christmas stocking.
He's going to show you how to use Summit Manager.
Yeah. Thanks, John. Let's take a look. This first tab here will show us our machine dashboard. In here we can see a list of all of our machines and their current statuses. By default, you'll get the stacked list view, which is broken up into each of your groups. Or I can click this icon up here in the top right to switch to my shop layout view. You'll see we've got a few different colored tabs on these machines. These white machines are currently idle. These green machines are currently running. The yellow machines are currently stopped, whether it's for a thread break or if the operator purposefully stopped the machine. Red machines typically have some kind of error, like if your design is outside of your hoop limits. And then gray machines are not currently connected. From here, if I want to unclaim a machine to pair to another Summit Manager license, I can select it and click this Unpair Selected Machines icon here. Now, if I want to reclaim that machine, I can click this Claim Additional Machines icon here. This will search for different machines on your network. So I'll go ahead and select it and click the Claim Selected icon down here below. Once we're in this view, I can choose to change how my machines are laid out. I will click this icon here to unlock the machine's positions. Then I can click these and drag them around the screen. Once I'm done making my changes, to prevent these from being dragged around again, I can go ahead and click this icon to lock their position. Back in our list view here, I can choose to ungroup and regroup my machines together. If I've already got machines grouped, I can go ahead and select one, and then click my ungrouped selected icon here. You'll see it then gets pushed into our ungrouped tab. If I have several machines that are currently ungrouped, I can create a new group for them. First, we'll click this icon here, and I'll add a name for that new group. Once I confirm it, we'll see my group is down here at the bottom of the list. So I'll go ahead and select my ungrouped machines, scroll back down, and click this icon to add them to the group. From here, I can click this Group Properties icon if I want to rename this group, or I can choose to ungroup the machines and delete the group from my list. In our Machine Run Settings tab, here we can open our designs and change our settings just like we can do on Summit. So I'll go ahead and click our Select File icon. Here we can choose to open a file that's either stored locally on our machine or on our computer. So I'll click Local Storage, and we'll navigate to the file that we want to open. From here, our first option here is our Set Colors tab. Here I can choose from my different thread brands and styles and the individual colors and colorize them here in the design. On this top bar here, I can also choose to add things like pauses within my color sequence, or even add our 3D puff styles or our fancy stitch styles here. If I want to delete any of these, I can just highlight one and select the trash can icon to delete it, just like you can do on Summit. Once we're done with all our color settings here, we can move to our hoop selection menu. From here, I've got all these filters on the right side of our screen. So let's say I want to open my magnetic tab here. I can navigate to my 5.5-inch Mighty Hoop. And once I've got that selected, I can hit the confirm icon there to select it. Now under our transform tab here, we can move our design around. I can use these arrow icons here on the side of the screen to move them up, down, left, right, or go back to center. I can also choose to rotate my design however I want. Let's say I'm sewing this on a hat. I can flip it 180 degrees. I can even vertically and horizontally mirror my design. Once I'm done with those, I'll hit the confirm checkmark again. Here I can also adjust my machine speed. So let's say I want to slow this down to around 1,000. I can also adjust my active feed maximum and minimum here. So I'll set my minimum to around 4 points. We'll set our maximum to around 25. I can also click this icon here in the middle to view my active feed suggestions list. From here I can also view the notes for my design if my operators have added any settings in here that they would suggest, or I could even add backing suggestions all that fun stuff here. Once we're done editing our design, we can go ahead and select the Send to Machines icon down here in the bottom right. From here, I can send my designs to my machines. I can choose to either view my machines in my shop layout view or switch to the list. Here I can select either a whole pod of machines to load my designs to, or I can select some individual machines for these designs. Either load them directly or add them to the queue.
Let's go over loading and queuing designs with a little bit more detail. Loading the design will immediately prepare that file to be ran on our selected machines. After pressing the Load to Machine icon, we'll get a little loading screen, and then a status message telling us that the design was successfully loaded. If I press the Queue to Machines icon, this will bring up my Run Count menu. Here I can tell Summit Manager how many times I want this design to be ran on each machine before proceeding to the next file. I can change this value by either clicking these little arrow keys on the side, or by simply typing in a new value. Once I hit confirm, we'll see a loading screen, and then another status message telling us that it was successfully added to the queue. Now that these files are in the queue, if I go back to my Machine Dashboard tab, I can double-click on the machine and click the View Queue icon. In here, I can see all the designs that are currently in my queue, and I can reorder them by clicking and dragging them around. I can change my run count again by using these little arrow keys or by typing in a new value. Or I can choose to delete a design from my queue by clicking the trash can icon.
And that's how you use Melco Summit Manager. Efficiency for all of your Melco summits. Now let's take you out with some beautiful and inspiring B-roll of the summits in action.